and gentlemen.
Good evening, Mama.
Hi, my name is Pat Edison, and on behalf of those of us on stage this evening, I would like to welcome you here to St. Francis College and to this celebration in honor of Dr. John L. Motley and the All-City Chorus. There are many ways that my life has been blessed. I am a wife, a mother, an educator, and a proud member of the All-City Chorus and Concert Choir since 1969. It is my privilege to introduce the man at whose invitation we gathered here this evening, Dr. Frank Macchiarola, the Chancellor of St. Francis College. During his long and distinguished career with the New York City Public Schools, Dr. Macchiarola was an enthusiastic supporter of the All-City Chorus and became a close friend of Dr. Motley. When he came to St. Francis College as its president, Dr. Macchiarola invited John to direct a chorus here at the college, which he continues to do today. Dr. Macchiarola, would you please join me at this time? Enough for giving us the opportunity to be together once again. Friendships old and new are flourishing, and we have been able to spend time with the man who so greatly influenced all of our lives. You and President Dugan and the fine staff of St. Francis College have made us feel right at home here, and we are all grateful.
Very much, Pat. And thank you for the great leadership that you've displayed, along with other Some of the best memories I have as Chancellor of the New York City school system involved the All-City Chorus and John Motley, now Dr. John Motley.
Okay.
And it was because it was a period of time of excellence in our school system, and excellence in the quality of the people who were there, both the staff and the students. And when the students displayed their talent, it was always a great lift for me. And John had a birthday party here. I think it was his 65th last year. I know because he had a Social Security check. And at that time, at his party, people from the All-City Chorus sang spontaneously. It was a great time, one of the best parties we've ever had here at St. Francis. And I've been here 50 years, and I remember some real wing-dinger parties. This was the best, among the best. And so, bringing everyone back tonight was a great idea, and a number of people in the chorus raised it, and I jumped at the idea. I don't have many good ideas myself, but I was smart enough to figure out who does, and this was a great one. The other day, I met someone that was a professor of mine 50 years ago, and he was a brother, left the order, and I ran into him at an affair, and we had such a wonderful time reminiscing. And I said, this is what heaven is going to be like. And I can say that John, I know, is a very spiritual man. It was that spirit and belief in God that energized him and had him have such faith in you. After all, you are all saints in the making. We are all saints. Yeah. And when I think of what the future will be, what heaven will be nights like this, where we will all be together, and where good times will go on forever. And so let me not get in the way of the peace of the
of us on stage today, it all began early on a Saturday morning near the beginning of a new school year. We did what all teenagers love to do. Got up early on Saturday morning, take a train or two or three, and go to school. Julia Richmond High School in Manhattan. I didn't know anyone else who was in the auditorium. I walked in to an auditorium full of strangers and sat down by myself. Most people seemed to know someone. Some had apparently been in the group for years. As an alto, I was soon banished to the basement, to a waiting area outside a rehearsal room, and eventually I was called inside, where I stood before a small but fearsome woman, Mrs. X, and sang, I don't think that I heard anything but the pounding of my heart in my chest. I was sent back out to the waiting room and expected to be told to go home and never return. I'm not quite sure that I remember exactly when I realized I had made it. I was told to come back the next week, but I didn't really realize that I was going to be a part of the group, or even that I really wanted to be, until we were sitting in the auditorium singing a very simple warm-up. And it sounded so good. I just knew that I had to be a part of this.
Knowing of All City through some fellow students at M&A High School of Music and Art, I auditioned in my sophomore year. I got the impression it was going to be a good experience, but I was wrong. It was great. Meeting so many different students was wonderful. Little did I know that meeting them would turn into a relationship of lifelong friends. I remember the audition song as well. I was a baritone then and was so scared. The audition was under the direction of Mr. Horowitz. He had a baritone at the time. My body was shaking like a shakerette, and I made it into All City.
A few months into my first year in All City, someone asked if I was busy on Sunday, and I wasn't. They needed altos for the concert choir. I didn't even know there was a concert choir. But I didn't need to be asked twice. Any excuse to get out of the house was good enough for me at 15. This time, though, I was told I would have to audition for Mr. Motley. And terrified does not really begin to describe my emotional state. I just knew that he would realize I couldn't sing at all and throw me out of All City altogether. So I went to the rehearsal and I sat down with the altos. Lo and behold, nobody asked me to audition. I just sat there and sang.
Mr. Motley had a lot of faith in his concert choir members. If they thought a fellow student had the talent, you were asked to come to a rehearsal. Believe me, all ears were on the newcomer.
We soon realized that a cold upstairs room at a church on West 28th Street, and then later a dreary room 151 at the Brandeis High School Annex, could be a warm and wonderful place, which would lead to an unparalleled opportunity to learn from the best musicians in the world and to develop friendships that endure today.